Another witness in the case was questioned today. The Senate Speaker was represented by his attorney, Jacek Dubois.
Są przesłuchiwani świadkowie.
There are witnesses being interviewed who are giving extremely important testimonies. I think that would shock public opinion. I think Polish political life would look very different if they found out what the witnesses are testifying.
Ludzie mogli się dowiedzieć o tym, co się tu dzieje i co mówią świadkowie.
Senate Speaker Tomasz Grodzki is accusing editor-in-chief Tomasz Sakiewicz of defamation. Gazeta Polska published accounts of former patients and their families who accused Tomasz Grodzki of accepting financial benefits when he served as an orderly at Szczecin's Zdanowo Hospital.
Postępowanie jest prowadzone.
This is solely the decision of the aggrieved party. It is hard for me to say whether they will take such a step. It is solely their discretion. The Speaker of the Senate has filed a lawsuit against Tomasz Sakiewicz, although he himself does not want to face justice. Tomasz Grodzki has been shielding himself from immunity for more than 600 days, that is, since the National Prosecutor's Office submitted a request to the Senate Chancellery to waive his immunity. The Law and Justice Party, on the other hand, filed a bill last week that will prevent politicians from claiming immunity if they commit a crime. It will allow for much more efficient procedures in the case of violations of law by judges, prosecutors or by parliamentarians. A bill by Law and Justice deputies proposes amendments to Articles 105 and 181 of the Constitution regarding the immunity of parliamentarians and judges. Immunity in Poland is of a substantive nature, meaning that it prevents a person from being held responsible for acts that arise from the performance of their duties, such as those of a deputy or a senator. The second type of immunity, as defined in the Basic Law, is formal in nature and is not related to a person's performance of an official duty. The abolition of this provision is contained in the peace proposal. I'm absolutely in favour of not having immunity from the next term. We can do it together from the next term, but only if the prosecutor's office is not dependent on politicians. Civic Platform says it supports the proposal, but places conditions demanding, for example, the resignation of Prosecutor General Zbigniew Ziobro. Guilt or innocence is always ultimately decided anyway, I'll use their language, by a free court. At least a two-thirds vote with at least half of the statutory number of deputies present is needed to pass a bill on constitutional amendments. If we must change the constitution, then we will in 10 minutes, but certainly without peace. Our fundamental goal is to create a law that will not defend criminals who are hiding behind immunity. Similar solutions have been in place for years in Western European countries. In countries that are, for many, models of democratic solutions, there is no immunity when it comes to judges. And in France, for example, since 1990, a judge and prosecutor can be criminally prosecuted for crimes just like any citizen. In the past, political groups have repeatedly indicated the need to remove some of the immunity of deputies and judges. But when it comes to voting, problems begin to arise with the support. I don't see queues lining up to vote on this project. The abolition of immunity of parliamentarians and judges would not take effect until the next parliamentary term.